Hey, today we're in Tokyo, where a temple gate, a snack pack street, and a skyline that looks endless can all happen before dinner. Done well, this trip feels huge in a good way. Done badly, you mostly meet queues, crowds, and your own tired judgment. I already mapped the whole route into a template, so if you want it, the link's in the description. Spring here is mild but busy, so earlier starts help. Blossoms pull crowds fast, and a little rain backup keeps Tokyo from getting dramatic in the wrong way. First up, Tokyo introduces itself properly. Temple theatrics, snack street chaos, then a view that explains the city's scale. Sensō-ji is Tokyo's famous old temple in Asakusa, and for a first-timer, it delivers the classic image immediately. You get the giant gate, incense smoke, lantern red, and that low murmur of people trying to be respectful while filming everything. What lands is the contrast. The approach feels staged. Then the main hall reminds you this is still an active religious site. Go in the morning, because later the photo bottlenecks and tour groups turn the place into a very polite human traffic event. Right outside, Nakamise is the shopping street leading into Sensō-ji, and it's really part of the temple experience, not a separate attraction. This is where pilgrimage meets commerce, sweets, fans, paper goods, lanterns overhead, and people negotiating space at half speed. I like it more as a moving scene than a shopping mission. The whole point is watching the crowd drift toward the temple. Walk the full stretch before buying anything unless you enjoy spending your snack budget at the first convincing smell. Then Tokyo Skytree flips the day from old Asakusa texture to modern scale, because seeing the city from above changes what Tokyo even is. The tower itself is basically an engineering flex, but the real payoff is Tokyo turning from neighborhoods into something almost abstract. From up there, rail lines look tiny, the city keeps going, and Tokyo suddenly seems both organized and faintly impossible. If the view matters, check visibility before you commit, because a skyline hidden in haze is a fairly expensive philosophy lesson. Day 2 is softer at first, spring park energy, then actual historical context, then a market that turns the volume back up. Ueno Park is one of Tokyo's big public park and museum zones, and in spring, it feels like the city showing up for itself. People come for blossoms, but what sticks is the mix of tree canopy, picnic energy, crows, cameras, and very coordinated relaxation. It's useful for first-timers because you see Tokyo as lived in public space, not just neon, temples, and transport diagrams. Pick a few paths and enjoy them properly. During blossom season, trying to conquer the whole park is mostly crowd management with flowers. A little later, the Tokyo National Museum gives you the missing context for half the things you've already admired. This is a place where screens, swords, lacquer, ceramics, and shrine objects stop being random beautiful items and start connecting. I would not try to do everything. After a while, even excellent art becomes a blur and you develop sudden fake confidence about pottery. If your date uses timed or special entry, sort that before you go, then focus on 1 or 2 galleries, because that's how the museum actually helps. By evening, Ameyoko Market gives Ueno a completely different face, louder, rougher, and much less interested in elegance. It runs under and around the rail lines, with vendor calls, grill smoke, bright signs, and that compressed market energy Tokyo does so well. This stop matters because it counters the polished version of the city. Tokyo can be scrappy too, and it's more fun for it. Treat it like a grazing zone instead of one grand dinner plan and keep moving until a stall actually looks worth your stomach space. Day 3 is Tokyo mood swing at its best. Forested shrine calm, Harajuku overload, then the whole city glowing beneath you. Meiji Jingu is a major shrine set inside a wooded approach, right next to some of Tokyo's busiest shopping districts. The trick here is the transition, city noise drops off, gravel starts crunching, and suddenly the pace feels suspiciously reasonable. It also has a different historical texture from Asakusa, tied more to modern imperial Japan than to Tokyo's older temple identity. Don't rush straight to the gate photo because the long walk-in is what makes the calm feel earned before Harajuku hits. Then Takeshita Street does the exact opposite, a tiny Harajuku lane with an outsized reputation for youth fashion and sugar-fueled chaos. It's famous less for one site than for pure compression, bright storefronts, music spill, sweets, phones up, and movement that barely counts as walking. Worth seeing, yes, because it explains a real part of Tokyo's style image, but it is absolutely not a serene cultural revelation. Walk through once, take it in, then duck into side streets if you want to browse without feeling gently processed by a crowd. Shibuya Sky is the payoff stop, an open-air observation deck above one of Tokyo's most recognizable chaos zones. What makes it work is the contrast between rooftop calm and the city grid below, with trains, towers, and crossing lights all suddenly legible. Go around sunset if you can. Daylight helps you read the city, then the lights take over and Shibuya turns properly electric. If that timing matters to you, reserve Shibuya Sky early, because the sunset slots are the ones everybody else also had the bright idea to want. The last day leans modern and a little strange. Market breakfast, immersive art, then the skyline from across the water. Tsukiji Outer Market is where first-timers get a compact dose of Tokyo's food obsession, without needing a ceremonial multi-course commitment. The real appeal is grazing, seafood smells, steam, knives, queues, and constant indecision about whether your next bite should be sensible. Even after the wholesale market moved, this area still feels tied to Tsukiji's identity as a serious food district. Go early because the market makes more sense when the selection is fuller and the lines haven't turned breakfast into a spectator sport. After that, teamLab Planets is Tokyo doing immersive digital spectacle with complete confidence and only minor concern for your dignity. You move through water, mirrors, darkness, color, and shared confusion, so the art is something you walk through rather than just look at. It's a useful contrast on this trip because Tokyo is not only history and street life, it also builds very polished modern weirdness. Both teamLab Planets ahead if you can, since the fixed-timed entries are the main friction and spontaneity is not really the house style here. Odaiba Seaside Park closes things out with a different version of Tokyo, open waterfront, wider views, and a skyline you can finally observe from a distance. After denser neighborhoods, the breathing room is the whole point. Bay water, bridge views, softer city noise, and noticeably fewer elbows. It also says something real about Tokyo, which keeps reinventing its waterfront into leisure space instead of leaving it as background infrastructure. Come toward evening if you can, when the light softens and the city stops feeling like pressure and starts looking a bit cinematic. What makes Tokyo stick is how casually it jumps from ritual to noise to scale to weirdness, then somehow still feels coherent. If you want the pre-built Tokyo route template with a map view ready to edit, it's in the description and pinned comment. Let me know which Tokyo stop you protects no matter how crowded it gets in the comments.